I just looked up and those two jakes had come over the hill and they were right here. Reached up quick to turn the video camera on. I think they may have seen me move. I mean, you can see a little bit into the blind back here. Oh, I got one. I can't believe I got one, finally.
Awesome shirt.
Yeah. All right, we just got to South Dakota here. It's late at night, so I can't talk too loud. We're gonna go out tomorrow morning super early, do some turkey hunting, try and get one with a bow and arrow. Yep. Got my Jake for the year in Minnesota. I'm kind of a novice, so I was totally happy with getting a Jake, but now I'm going for a gobbler. I'm gonna be passing on Jakes. Yep. We're both gonna be bow hunting. This is Victor. Yep. And it's gonna be fun, man. He's already shot one with a...
Got mine with a shotgun.
Shotgun one already.
Go archery.
Archery time.
Yeah.
South Dakota, you can do both.
Yep.
And what's interesting too is we both have blinds, and apparently turkeys are not afraid of the blind. Mm-hmm. So you can actually set up a blind, and they don't perceive that as an unusual scenario. So we'll just do that, and that way we can move to pull our bow back. We'll set up some decoys, try some calling. We're literally on Google Maps here, just marking a whole bunch of spots, trying to find some good hunting areas for tomorrow morning in the pitch black. Sunrise is at, what, 6 o'clock sharp,
6:08.
Yeah, 6:08, yeah. So we're gonna have to be out there. We're waking up at 4. I mean, we're carrying a lot of gear. I'm self-filming because Patrick's got out of town this hunt, so that's gonna be tricky, but I think it's worth it. We're doing turkey hunting, we might as well get it on film, so see you tomorrow morning. Yeah. All right, little midday update. It's noon. We spent a lot of time driving around this morning looking for turkeys, Victor and I. And we saw actually quite a few in different places, mostly hens. And I'm actually sitting in the car right now because we saw some gobblers in this area, at least one. We saw a bunch of turkeys, and they actually came in to a call that we did. And of course, our truck was sitting right there. So it's nice and close. It's windy, so they were down in these valleys. We discovered they're on the back sides of hills and down in valleys. So what I'm gonna do, set up the blind in some of these pine trees. There's actually a lot of pines in this area. It's perfect. I'm pretty excited. And thankfully, I've got the blind, so self-filming shouldn't be a problem. You know, I can move around, move the camera. Let's get after it. It's a lot of gear for one guy to carry. It's gonna take a few trips. All right, one of the things I like about this blind is it's huge. One of the things I hate about this blind is it's huge. It should be good for having a lot of kids in here and stuff eventually, but for now it's just me, but I got plenty of space for the camera and plenty of space to move and look around. It's dark in here. I think I'm in a great spot. I got a lot of tree cover. The decoys are very open. They're out in the open, so turkeys should be able to see them from a long ways away. I think we're good. Wish me luck. All right, the joys of self-filming in South Dakota. Out here, this is public land, but they farm it. So it's got fences and gates, and there's signs that say, yeah, you can hunt out here, but you can't drive your vehicle on this property. And it's a good 2-mile walk, maybe. It's not unbelievably far, but I gotta haul all my gear. So what I'm doing is basically a relay race where I drop a load, go back and get the next load, go past it, etc. It works. It's better than trying to carry something all the way in and then going all the way back. It's just safer for my equipment. There's actually cows out here. Hopefully there's no mean bulls or anything like that. And hopefully there's turkeys, because it's a lot of work. We'll see. Okay, got the decoys out. I'm in my spot. I just want to show you where I'm at here relative to the environment. It's a great spot. I love it. I even found a turkey feather a minute ago. I'm next to a lake back here. You can see that. It's all open fields, but there's a nice little edge. They love to follow edges. Animals always love to follow edges. And then of course I got the decoys over here. The blind in there. Let's go see what happens. Day 2 of South Dakota hunting. Had some pretty poor luck yesterday, except in the car. We drove around in the car and saw a bunch of turkeys at various public land locations. They were a long ways off. I sat on the best location. Nothing came in. Didn't see anything from my actual hunting blind. But I'm out here this morning. Got up at 4:30. Came out. I'm just going to these public land places and doing some turkey calling. And it's pretty dark. The sun's just sort of pink on the horizon. Turkeys should be gobbling from their roosts, and that's the idea. I'm trying to just strike one up, so at least I know where at least a couple gobblers are. Because again, with the archery, I've got to set up the blind so I can move to pull back my bow, and that's a difficult challenge on public land, especially because these birds move around a lot. Normally with a shotgun, you can go sit down by a tree somewhere, set up on them. If they don't come in, you go circle around, sit somewhere else quick. When you're setting up a tent, basically to sit in, you're pretty committed to that spot. So we'll see what happens. Here's the sunrise. Whew. It's cold. I just struck up a gobbler at the first location. I tried a crow call, it didn't work. I tried this shaking gobbler call. You shake it and it goes blah, 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 blah. And he's over there. He's exactly where I wanted him to be. So I'm going to set up the blind. Basically, I've got a little tree line up here. He's roosted up there. So I think they're flying down off the tree there. And they're coming right into this. And I just drove up this basically like dirt road. I'm going to just basically go on top of that hill, set up. Little update from the blind. He flew down. I was on a gobbler this morning, and he flew down on the other side of these pine trees. So there's this row of pine trees I'm sitting on, and I set up on this side by the cornfield, and then he went down towards the lake over there. So then I kind of crawled through the pine trees to see if I could just take a look at him, maybe call him, and then try and work him back up over here with some calling. And I start crawling in there, and then I bust 2 hens off the pine trees. And there's branches all over the place and everything else, of course. That's where I got my scratch on my face. So then I go back to the blind. I'm like, well, he didn't make any noise. and I start literally taking all my stuff down. And then I do a few more calls just to see if anything happens. Nothing happens. Keep taking my stuff, and then I hear a gobble, and he's back in the pine trees. So I decided I better wait a little bit and see what happens. So that's what I'm doing. It's not that bright yet, but it's definitely, the sun has definitely come up. Alright, that was pretty cool. I actually was just sitting here and a hen started putting right next to the blind. I mean, like 3 steps from the blind, maybe. Just put, put, put. And I snuck the camera out the window of the blind, so I got some video of it. I could see it. By that time, it had kind of walked out a ways from the blind, a little ways. You know, I just kind of sat there. I used my string to move my decoy just to kind of keep it interested. It was literally here for like 20 minutes. Just milled around and putted, and I putted back and messed with it. And then it came out in front of the blind, and it kind of walked along the fence like it was trying to get out into the cornfield. But it didn't want to like commit to it. It didn't want to fly over the fence. And it kept coming, like thinking about coming back. I mean, it was within 15, 20 yards. Almost the whole time. So, and then it finally just walked off over the hill. Pretty cool encounter. Hopefully that bodes well for a lot more good things to come. It's actually still over there. I just see it at the top of the hill, kind of working back and forth on top of the hill. But yeah, nothing like a live decoy. Hopefully a tom comes in at any minute. It's about 8:30. I've been sitting here since 6 or so. This is a good time when they start to move around again. The toms usually are with hens initially, and then they kind of disperse at about this time and start rearranging themselves, and the toms start looking for other hens. Hopefully I can capitalize on that. All right, mid-morning update. Sun is obviously up. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go back to the spot that's like 2 miles out. I had to do that walking with my shirt off and carrying all my gear. Unfortunately, I'm gonna do that again. I think it's worth it. It was a fun spot. There's clearly some gobblers out here and very little hunting pressure relative to a lot of the other spots. So I'm just putting in the work, doing the long walk, setting up the blind way out there, and I'm just gonna hunt this morning until about noon or 1 at this blind location. I'll go back home, have lunch, come back out in the evening, hunt the same spot, and then probably even tomorrow morning. You know, I've done enough exploring. I think this is my place. I'm gonna stake out. At least it's entertaining because there's coyotes, there's deer, there's a lot of wildlife. I think the odds are pretty good, so I'm just gonna hold out, see what happens. We're back at it for the evening. Got Jerome walking with me this time. That'll be fun. Getting close to our turkey spot. I left the blind out there. I left my tripod, I left my chair. And then a tractor came and baled the hay on the field we're going to, which may be a benefit, I don't know. It might actually end up attracting the turkeys because he ruffled up the ground a little bit. We'll see. Anyway, either way, it's gonna be fun. We'll see some deer. Got a couple hours of sitting, so it's pretty close to evening. Prime time. All right, another tough evening. Heard one gobble, long ways out, didn't see anything. Whew. These things are tough, man. It's tough to hunt with a blind when you can't just jump up and move around, you know? It's a hell of a nice evening. Check out this sunset. That's what I'm looking at right now. Amazing. South Dakota is a heck of a place. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go out and try and strike up a couple for tomorrow morning. If I can strike one up, give me a better strategy on what to do. Maybe strike 2 or 3, you know? The more I strike up, the better, because then I can think through, well, where's the wind blowing? Where are they probably going to go? Where should I sit tomorrow morning? I'm getting more and more experience in this area, and that's going to help me. But it's still really random. I mean, these things just go anywhere. That's the hardest part at this point. They can go so many different directions. I think they're with hens oftentimes, and that makes it much harder because the gobblers don't want to leave the hens. See you tomorrow morning. All right, last morning, I heard a gobbler. He's like 500 yards away down a hill, so I'm gonna try and get over to the next hill as if I was shotgun hunting. Try and sneak in a little closer. I feel like I'm too far away. It's a ton of work because I got this blind and I got the decoys on my back. Everything else but Hail Mary pass for the last day. It's worth it. Might spook them. Might just get them right in. Whew. It's a workout though, that's for sure. I set up my blind once again. This is probably the 12th time I've set this thing up in the last 4 days. It's a good spot. There was just 2 hens on top of this hill. And I was on the hill like way back over there, probably 300 yards away, and the turkeys were, now they're 300 yards. So I was like 600 yards from the actual turkeys. So I went to this hill. I crawled to the top of the hill and put the decoys out. That's why I'm all sweaty. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's only about 45 degrees out. But, you know, it was a lot of work to carry this blind over here. I kind of went back through the woods. I didn't take any video of it because I was like crawling or clawing my way through the woods. But hopefully the turkeys come. It'll be worth it if they do. I'll sit here as long as I can because I don't have the whole morning this morning. I mean, look at, I can see my breath. That's how cold it is. And I'm sweating. It's a lot of work. People don't realize how much work it is to shoot one with a bow and arrow on public land because all the properties I've been hunting out here, they only have 1 gobbler. I've not found a public land area yet that has more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, at least in this part of, South Dakota, because it's a little bit later in the season and they're clearly getting shot by the gun hunters before I got here, which is fine. It's just making it really challenging because they're really skittish, and they're very few and far between, and they're very random. They tend to just kind of go off in all different directions, and you can't predict where they're going to go. And here I've got to set up this giant blind and try and predict. It's been difficult. I literally had my blind set up yesterday in that field where the turkeys are right now. The only reason I took it down is because a farmer drove in with his tractor. So I had to move it last night, and then this morning I just went back to where I'd moved it to, which is 600 yards from the field, which apparently was a mistake. But I'm back in the game now. Insanely fast. I was sitting on the ground because I didn't bring my chair because I had moved my blind up on this hill. Oh man, first archery turkey I've ever shot. Whew, that was intense because they came in quiet. I just looked up. It's just a jake, but I've never shot one before.
South Dakota, success. I didn't even have time to put my GoPro on. I was gonna have my GoPro. You can see me pulling back my bow. Whew, couldn't do that. Just had time to reach up, turn on the camera. The turkey just showed, they were basically starting to work off. They were starting to leave. Oh, let's go take a look at them. Finally. All right. Smoked a shot. Oh, mackerel. What a crazy day. Just looking around to see if there's other turkeys out here. Look at that. What a beauty. Pretty, pretty bird. Yes. Look at that. Wow. Yeah. Little tiny beard, but a very red head. Yes. Wow. Whew. So here's my setup here. Got the blind there. Got a feeding hen decoy here, about 25 yards. And I've got a Jake decoy and a breeding hen decoy at about 10 yards. And I just looked up and those two Jakes had come over the hill and they were right here. Reached up quick to turn the video camera on. I think they may have seen me move. I mean, you can see a little bit into the blind back here. Oh, I got one. I can't believe I got one, finally. So you can see the camera, for example. They probably saw my arm move up, turn on the camera, and you could see them start to walk away. And I didn't even have time to zoom in or anything because, again, I had to like get my bow. I pulled it back quick, drew it, smoked them. I mean, check it out. The arrow's still in them. You can see the knock is all lit up. Wow. I mean, a perfect shot. Oh, I'm pleased with this. First turkey with a bow. Man alive. That did some damage, that broadhead. Yeah, that's what you want. Put him down fast. Yes! Oh, what a relief. This is the last day. What an amazing bird, huh? Yes. It's been such a difficult hunt here in South Dakota. You know, I'm just kind of a novice turkey hunter, and getting them with the bow is so much more challenging, especially on public land. There's 3 phases to turkey hunting. There's like early season when they're super vocal and super fired up, but they're usually in packs with all the hens and they're hard to draw off the hens. Second phase, they get really quiet and they're usually henned up. It's hard to pull them off the hens, and they're quiet so you can't even locate them, you can't even hear them. Third phase, turkey season generally, is late season when the hens are mostly on nests, and then the gobblers kind of get out and start walking around again, so they're still pretty quiet, but at least they're out searching around. So I'm in phase 2 of the season, which is the toughest part to hunt. And I didn't know any of this except this year. I just learned all of this, and it's been a tough year. I mean, I've been learning a lot about how to turkey hunt, and I really enjoy it. It's fun. And this is my second Jake. I got another turkey, first turkey ever with my bow. I've shot turkeys before, you know, hunting, but I would be out pheasant hunting or something. There's a fall season in certain states, and you know, I'd see a turkey, I'd see a gobbler and just shoot it. It wasn't really turkey hunting. This is the first year I've really gotten into turkey hunting and went after them. And I found it's way more fun than I thought. I'm gonna pursue this a lot next year. I'm gonna start traveling around to some different states, go to Nebraska where my brother lives, and maybe Arkansas. I've got some ideas, so I'm having a lot of fun with this. Such a pretty bird. So much fun when they come in. Got the job done on the last day. Can't believe it. Man, that was intense. That was fun. There's a lot of buildup. It's more intense when there's that much buildup. When you have 5 days of just getting absolutely skunked and getting zero, just not even seeing turkeys. And then to come out and finally get one feels good. It's a big accomplishment for me. I know it's a jake. A lot of people think that's kind of absurd to shoot a jake, you know, and they're, you know, snobs about getting a gobbler, a full adult mature gobbler. And next year I probably will be that guy. I'll probably try and get a gobbler next year. But for this year, especially after these last 4 or 5 days, I'm thrilled to get another turkey, get a jake, and close down my turkey season. So let's get back to fishing and have a fun summer, do some scuba diving, some spear fishing coming up. I'll talk to you soon, but I'm also gonna do a little video with the kids coming home and get some reaction with the kids. Now the fun part, getting all this gear back. It's gonna be fun to see the kids at least. They're gonna be pumped about this. Hey kids, come over this way.
Alright.
Don't be see it? Look at this. Look at that head, Evie.
Drop that turkey! Turkey!
Yeah.
It's a big one. I got a big one. Now it's my turn. I love it and I got a fiddle out. What did you get? Do you want the fiddle?
Pretty heavy, huh?
Want this fiddle?
Let's see you lift it.
No, he's the same turkey as ours.
Lift it up. Lift him up by the legs. Oh, you're strong. Good job. Don't get blood on your shirt though. Very nice. Alright, let's go take a look, buddy.
Are you going to cut them up?
Same spot we were hunting yesterday, dude.
Did you get anything last night?
Isn't that pretty, dude?
Yeah.
Alright.
Jerome, watch this.
Yeah, look at that. That's called a fan. Look at that. Oh, Tina's got it figured out. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. Very nice.